Hi everybody. Today I am going to go over two more views of the mouth. One is going to be the 3/4 view, and with the other one I'm not going to show another view. I'm just going to show you how to incorporate teeth. So one of the things that I set up here is the nose, and I set up this rounded line because I want you to understand how the V of the mouth relates to the ball of the nose. And that's the first thing that we're gonna look at. The next thing is, this is how much of this side of the nose is showing, and the more a person is turned, the less of this you see. So that can vary from one picture to the next. Lighting is also a factor. So as you do these, understanding that, if light comes from different directions, different things happen. So basically, when you're drawing the 3/4 mouth, you want the side that you see the most of to surpass the nose. A lot of times we want to stop the mouth right here, and we think that the mouth is smaller than it is. But if you were to draw a line upward, you can compare the mouth to where it falls in relationship to the eye. And usually the mouth will fall right about the center of the eye. Here's your pupil and your eye and your iris. Okay, so you just want to keep that in mind to make sure that you are getting your mouth correct. Sometimes when we're drawing and shading things, what can happen is it can look like it's too big, but then when we shade it, it makes it look smaller. So you always want to depend on these lines that I call plumb lines and reference lines, and compare parts from one to the other. So it's coming out long, and I'm giving it a little bit of a dip here. Now on this side, I'm not going to give it so much. It almost becomes like this triangular shape here, and then it comes down. The other thing you want to remember about the mouth is that below, I call the ball of the nose the leader, because beneath the ball of the nose is the bow and the lip, and then beneath the bow and the lip is the largest part of the bottom lip. So that has to fall in place. From that largest part of the bottom of the lip, you will tuck this part of the lip up underneath so that this overlaps. It sticks out a little bit further. And then on this side, it will just meet underneath. So this part of the lip is bigger. So this is how you know where the largest part of that lower lip is. So I'm gonna get rid of that reference line and start shading now. My bottom lip is a little big. All right, a couple of other things about the mouth. The upper lip is generally darker. If you didn't see the video on how to draw the lip and how values work with the lip, you want to go back and watch my first one, because for this one, I'm just going to go over how to change the direction of the mouth. And I'm going to go very quickly with this. Remember, the corners of the mouth are darker because they wrap around, and you want them to feel like they're wrapping around your face. You don't want them to appear flat. And this part of the lip right here is also darker. And sometimes you have. A lot of times the area that is surrounding the lip is more important than the lip itself. Then you want to reestablish. Make sure you don't lose that meeting of the lip, because that's really important. So what I'm talking about is right here, around the outside of the lip. Sometimes it's hard to understand what happens between the nose and the mouth here. But right here, without trying to make too many lines, I'm going really fast here, you have a little white outline. So you want to try to keep that little white outline around the top of your lip. Okay, and I know I made this really fast, and I made lines. I'm gonna crosshatch, try to get rid of them. I'm really big on not blending with anything but my pencil. I don't like to smudge anything. I like to reestablish the blending and the values. And if you smudge, you get rid of all those value changes. A lot of the times it makes it harder to control. So for the bottom lip, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go darker here. I'm going to give you some lines so that it looks, you can see some of the details in the lips. Darker to the corners. And one of the things, I just want to make this line less sketchy. One of the things that's going to be important for this part of the lip right here is this is your core shadow. If you watch my other videos, you know what core shadow is. And right below that is what we call reflected light. So while you have the highlight on the top here, on the bottom, you have this little area that's a lighter in value called reflected light. I'm going to tuck this in darker so it goes underneath that upper lip, same here. All right, now I'm going to work towards the highlight. That lower lip has a highlight. You can erase it, but I like to see these lines and these little areas and textures that the lip has. It makes it look a little more realistic. I want this darker at the top, let it get lighter as it comes down. Keep rubbing it out, making it smooth. This line here is a little too hard, so I'm gonna try to get rid of it. Here, I wanna keep darkening. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this area outside of the lip. This is a little shadow, a little cast shadow from your upper lip, which makes your upper lip just come up off at the surface of your face. And it actually makes this reflected light even more prominent. Oop, not too much there. I want to make sure I keep this area. So this is just a real quick version. You want to make sure you keep this area darker, and there's your core shadow. I'm going to darken this a little bit, and the more you deepen these value changes, the more it's going to pop. All right, now I'm going to go back in because I lost it again. I want to make sure I don't lose that part in my lips. All right, so that's basically how you draw and shade a 3/4. And the more that this is turned, all right, so the more your lip is turned, okay, this is your upper lip. It's kind of messy, sorry. The more it's turned, the less of that upper lip you're going to see. This is the biggest part here. All right, so now this part here is even smaller. Kind of makes that almost like a triangular, almost reminds me sometimes of like a seagull wing. All right, so the more it's turned, the less of that lip that you see. All right, now what I want to talk about is teeth. With teeth, less is more. And I'm not going to shade this one for the sake of time. You're just going to follow the same protocol. I will let you know about shading the tooth part of it. So I'm going to make this smile really big. Big smile. Happy, happy, happy. All right, now lips are thinning out a little bit because they're smiling. All right. Other part of the mouth. I might be going a little too big here. We'll just cut that off just a little bit. All right. You can see I'm very sketchy when I'm drawing. All right. Now I'm going to develop what happens with that bottom lip. Some have an open mouth. All right. With teeth, less is more. And what I mean by that is you don't want to outline every tooth. If you outline every tooth, they look dirty. All right, you don't want to do that. The other thing is your teeth go back into your head along with your lips. So each tooth is going to work its way up as you move across. So to begin this, like I said, the nose is the leader. Okay, so the nose goes to here. So from here, I like to find that center. Once I find that center, I begin to draw the gum line. You want to sort of look at your teeth. You're going to draw each tooth, letting it come up. There's your eye tooth. And sort of disappear back into your face there. Now, no matter how white your teeth are, no matter how white they are, they still are going to have shadow. They're going back into your mouth, and you don't want them to look like they're going straight across your face. You want them to look like they're turning back into your mouth and moving away from the front. All right, so for that reason, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little cast shadow under where the lip meets the gum. And I want these teeth to be in a little bit of shadow. And this is a real beginner thing here. Okay, notice I did not outline these teeth. You might be able to put some darkness in here. I did not outline the spaces between each tooth. I'm giving them depth. All right, so now here, they're lighter in value. And I'm gonna give it a number, very light, what I call the number 2 value. Some call the lighter values the higher numbers. I call them the higher number. Number 1 is white, number 2 is the next gray tone, that's too much. You're gonna give it a little bit of value. You might give slight indication, very, very slight indication of some parting of the teeth here. Very, very slight, not much. And here's what giving a little bit of value will do. I always tell students, you can't get whiter than white. So if you had sparkling, nice, sparkly, clean teeth, you're gonna wanna give a little bit of gray around them. And this gray will make your white whiter. So now you can go in with your eraser and you can create this nice white gleam. All right, so now what we have here is a real nice white gleam. All right, and I didn't shade this mouth, but you're just gonna do the same here as you did here. And that's the second part of the mouth for today.